Hello, my name is Deisha Hershey. I am certified gifted in full-scale intelligence quotient, verbal comprehension, immediate memory and delayed memory, I'm ASPD. I've been diagnosed twice by 2 different psychiatrists as an adult, but I don't have that framed. As a result, I do feel compelled to share my following insights with uncertain receptivity of morality among those with ASPD. A more certain approach is establishing an intrinsic motivator for morality that supersedes the psychopath's own ability to format that reality and bears genuine fruits for the labors of change. Personally, I started practicing the ability to turn my mirror neural network off on command when I was a baby, due to life's continuing unfortunate circumstances, and continued to practice until it was second nature. Like many teenagers, I thought that I could get away with anything I wanted. I thought that if I kept my secrets, that the lies and the acts they protected wouldn't matter. It wasn't until I had an out-of-body experience that I realized I was horribly mistaken. My trip was terrifying. I saw that there are no secrets when you die, and what happens to our soul at that point is directly decided by our lives. I saw infinity, and then there was a very tall being. So I saw infinite suffering. A very tall being noticed me and was instantly furious about me being there, with the tone of, "Who gave you the ability to see over the galaxy?" He was yelling at me. It was like, "Who'd you give the galaxy over?" But I don't know, that's how it translated in my head. Anyways, this was later, at a different trip, because I revisited to try to get more from that. At this initial trip, the being was just angry and he grabbed me. I felt my soul stretched, perhaps into the air, to be seen as clear as day, 10 miles, well, I don't know, he stretched me, he saw me, he sneered, he ripped me in half, is symbolic for cheating, on my boyfriends in my life at the time, as my teenager self, and cast me back to my body, where I lay awake and unmoving. Time passes, and I remain there to witness endless maggots eating my body, and my consciousness split between everything that ate me and the life that eats them, and what was left and everything in them just recycled into the earth because I wasn't suitable for heaven. He laughed and showed me how some of me would even become fishing worms, and showed me experienced all the needles. I hate needles. These are worst fears, I would imagine. Anyways, and for cosmic humorous irony, that some of me would grow into a beautiful tree to be chopped down and made into toilet paper, and that I'd still be awake when I wiped the ass. Okay, so he thought it was funny. I was scared straight. Because let's be honest, no amount of sin is worth even the possibility of that. So I was genuinely terrified for my soul. I began changing. I also continued psychedelic usage after the trip that day, and periodically throughout my life. It's really important to check in with yourself, to calibrate where you think you're at with where you're actually at. It's taken a full 15 years to transform my life. I hippie flipped in the fall, and I cried tears of joy. I'm so proud of myself, where I've came. I'm so happy. Anyways, where am I at? Although I am indeed no means perfect, I know that if I died today, I would see my dad in heaven. I have faith. My faith is strong. Okay, so secondly, let's move to the importance of superseding the psychopath's own ability to format reality with a higher influence. When I was younger, I was a classic psychopath. However, as time progressed, my "I'm going to be good for fear of hell" motivator immensely developed. It has turned into an agreement that I will keep God's large commandments and try my best with lesser ones, such as taking his name in vain. Faith is crucial. I'm not telling you how to interpret your visions, but I am telling you that you need to see more than this life. Undeniably, the change will bring your happiness from an unreliable external locus to a fountain from within your own chest. I am living the American dream. I have 3 beautiful kids that are healthy and brilliant, and a husband who loves me and respects me. I have a brand new 300 plus square foot palace to me, like compared to places I have been, that's decorated exactly how I want it. I play my music as loud as I want when the hubby's working, and as long as I get my chores done, I allow myself to pursue any random ADD task I want to accomplish, however I want to do it. The freedom not only liberates my soul, but it electrifies me. I haven't been this happy since before I had responsibilities. Next, psychopathy runs in my family. Where am I? I'm so sorry. As well as broken homes and tragedy. I would like to do everything I can to stop the generational trauma here. This includes, but is not limited to, cutting out toxicity and working yourself to a place where you and your husband are people your children want to be like. There are also people I don't want them to be like, and I rejoice every single time I think about it that they're gone. So, I'm set. The kids are set. The house is set. I saved the topic of my husband being set for last because it is indeed the topic I have the most to say about. Let's just say I'm grateful to be here. I don't even know the number of boys I've had to run through to find this man. It's extensive, unfortunately. However, this time I carefully sought and selected my husband for his specific traits, which I loved discovering as well. I love him, make no mistake. We feel, okay? I'm only coming out because there's a video that proves that we feel, it's just on command. Oh yeah, that's a nice side note. I know I needed a mate qualified enough for me to realistically not cheat on forever, which is hard to admit, but I mean, I'm honest with myself. Anyways, so I pre-planned accordingly, because adultery is a heavenly felony. Cheating on boyfriends and girlfriends, that's little leagues, that's misdemeanors. When you get married, it's done, dude. Okay, so, anyways, I keep getting distracted. There are infinite aspects that I treasure in a relationship. We'll list the primaries, one of which is honesty. Honesty is important because without trust, there isn't enough emotional connection to hold permanently. I told him after the second date that I'm a diagnosed psychopath. He accepted me. I told him everything about me honestly. And to this day, I can also tell him when I don't care. But he's also a mechanic. I find that when I pretend to care, he feels it. I resent that. I can't fake it, I just get angry. And the situation gets worse. I treasure that he can maturely, calmly, and positively handle any truth. Even when he's mad, like furious, like he doesn't chastise, like he doesn't abuse. He's not abusive at all. He never says mean things about me or who I am. It's more like what I try to do when I get mad. It's just like, fuck, you don't point it at people. It's so rotten. That was another tangent. I apologize. I treasure that he can maturely, calmly, and positively handle any truth. Now let's move to the next requirement. Good sex. Which he doesn't yell either. Let's just I'm like, fuck. I think he yelled fuck once. No, he yelled... I don't know. Dude, he's so healthy. It blows my mind. Okay, so I'm just stalling because I don't want to get into this. Just kidding. Okay, so the next, let's be honest here, the next requirement, good sex, which I have a particularly keen affinity for because of the loss of control of my heart rate and emotions. I suspect, but never had the desire to seek to confirm if other psychopaths are just as horny as I. As a result of my heightened libido, I realistically know that I can't stay loyal if their body isn't at least as fit as mine. Give or take, but they have to be fit. Okay, the large phallus and being driven and intellectually stimulating other qualities. Let's focus on these other qualities. Yes, like driven. I love drive. Can you motivate yourself? Surprisingly unsexy when you can't. Okay, and intellectually stimulating. Ooh, it's surprisingly unsexy when they're not intellectually, and you can't hold a conversation. Ugh, they're like not even people. Oh my god, that's so mean. Sorry. Let's stay focused. Okay. So they may be bonuses, or they may be requirements. I'd say requirements. Anyways, my husband, he checks all my boxes. I'm a very, very happy woman. I cook, I clean, I fuck proudly. Thirdly, I will reiterate that he is good to me. This is so important as a psychopath, because when somebody deliberately mistreats me, I simply cannot contain the malevolence. Like, even if I'm, consciously running through all the logic, all the empathy, it will still come out, subconsciously. I simply can't contain the malevolence. All quite the contrary to most of my exes. This man listens to me. He respects me. He writes me sweet texts, calls me. He does things around the house I ask him to. I don't ever have to ask him twice to do something. He asks me what he can do. I have to tell him not to do the dishes. Okay, so he provides for me. He's so good to the kids. He's what a dad needs to be. He's the best dad in the world. I would say he's the best husband in the world. It's how I respected my dad when I was little, I love that. I'm truly a lucky woman. He's appreciative. He's so appreciative. Okay. He's reliable, funny. He buys me flowers sometimes. Supportive and attentive. Truly, I'm a lucky woman, and I love him with all my heart. I digress with passion to tell you that happiness isn't just a dream. Furthermore, regardless of one's own willingness or unwillingness to share the ugly truth about ourselves with a romantic partner, a friend, sponsor, God, what have you, the higher beings see you. For all of you. See all of us. There's no secrets. Our best bet is to see ourselves and cry, and if you have to, obviously, and bring it to light. When I allow myself to break open for God, it feels like drops of pure love, spring water healing my soul. And when I break open for my husband, I find that the love of my soulmate heals me too. In some ways that God even can't. And even if this is not where you are at, your motivation for having a better life needs to supersede this life itself so that you can bring yourself to where you want to be without potentially fucking yourself when you die. In conclusion, I am still human, and love is of the closest we come to God on this earth. However, it took much trauma and addiction to arrive at this conclusion. I would argue that finding oneself is the only true path through any storm. And I will go a step further to say that heavy, earth-based psychedelics will allow you to see light from beyond just our existence in our current bodies. Processing this information will guide us through ourselves. This perilous journey is unfortunate, completely dire, especially when we are all too adept at checking out whenever we are uncomfortable. Psychedelics rip us from this illusion and show us that we are all one with the universe and that this life is but a blip in time. This could either be wonderful or fucking horrible. Alright, so plan accordingly, people. That concludes the video. Thank you. Good luck. Have a nice day.